In there, party people.
Yes, sir. I said a hip hop, a hip it to the hip hop. You don't stop.
Yeah. Episode 8.
Episode 8, Mr. Roo.
What we got?
What is going on, YouTube? How's everybody doing right now? How's my man, Mr. Roo, doing?
Let me get my mic ready. It's 2025.
That's right, baby. I am Tommy Wirez. You are now on episode 8 of Real or No Reelz.
I'm on episode 8 as well.
He is. He is too.
That's right.
We're going to be here. We're going to be here for the next hour. We're going to be just going over some fun stuff. What's today? January 5th, everybody? Thank you for tuning in.
2025.
Yeah, 2025. Never thought I'd get to this point.
And
Never did.
what do you mean? Never thought you'd live to this point?
No, I just, looking back as a child, rolling into 2000, I thought to myself, 2020 was so far away. Now here we are in 2025. I'm on the cusp of turning 40 this year. What? Born in 1985, dude.
Yeah, I'm not competing with you on that one.
No, I know you're not. I know you're not.
Last episode,
your digits are in the seven fives.
Right here, 50. Last episode, everyone knows, was right before my 50th birthday.
Yeah, man, that was a fun episode.
Now I'm 50, and it was pretty weird. I had my last comedy show that went very well, but I did address the crowd and told them that it was the last time I was doing comedy in my 40s. Felt a little weird.
That must have been a little surreal. I can understand that.
Yeah, I try to make it a joke. I did the pause, this is the last time I'm doing comedy. Making them think I quit, totally.
Right.
Which some of them might have wanted me to.
Yeah,
but
right,
then I
right.
said, in my 40s.
Boo, get off the stage.
Thank God we want our money back.
Oh man, that's we're all gonna get there apparently, you know what I mean? I guess I shouldn't bitch about being 40 then, huh?
No, you can do, hey, all of our bodies are internally a different age, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I say this all the time. My parents were two people that never really evolved to technology until later on. My father actually just got his first smartphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, give it up. Yeah. Give it up for Mr. Senior Wirez moving into this new technology we have in this world.
What I'm interested in is next episode, what Tommy can talk about his father's using this knowledge.
Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? What is he going to look up? It's going to be something crazy. Like, hey, Tommy, you know what I can do on this thing?
Telling you right now, he got it 2 or 3 days before Christmas. And my whole life, he's always been like, get out of your phone. You're scrolling through your phone. What are you doing on your phone? What are you doing? He's sitting down in my basement, and I'm watching on the TV, and I have a picture of my father sitting there. He's on his phone like this. I'm like, look right over. I go, it's a little weird. Now that you get all that information in front of your face, it's hard not to want to learn.
Sometimes it's just to kill time. You're not even learning. Yeah. Everyone uses it for different reasons.
Absolutely. And that's the best part about it. I like to use it for technology. I like to use it to learn. I like to expand my horizons. I like to sound a little smarter when I'm in a room of people. I mean, that's just me, though.
Yeah. Well, hey, you enjoy knowledge.
Yeah, and the other thing is, this, of course, I'm always on social media making some sort of post, editing some sort of reel, editing some sort of, silly something to make someone smile and laugh. That's what I do it for, I find it hilarious, though, and I don't know if I'm the only one that does this. Anybody on YouTube, let me know, but, I turn on the TV in the background, and I get through right to the first commercial. Right when I get to the first commercial and it starts, I pick up my phone, and I forget the TV's there for the next hour, and I look back, and I'm like, well, I just missed that entire hour.
Game's over, yeah. Oh, they were losing 1-0. Now they're winning 3-1. What happened?
Exactly, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's almost like you need to pause it just so that you stay on track.
I do that. I don't watch TV much. It's a background thing for me, but same thing. If the TV's on, it's not even multitasking. It's just like your, what do you call it?
Distracted.
Attention span is just, it's not, all right, going to a commercial. I don't want to watch 3 minutes of commercial. So the phone, boom.
Yep.
Yeah.
You pull it up, check all your accounts, see what's going on, see if anybody posts anything cool, funny, interesting.
Email, respond to people, check out what other people are doing.
Yep, make a flyer, make a post or something interesting. But
I'm going to a game today. I'll be at the Bruins game later, and I will not pull my phone out till the game's over.
That's awesome.
But 90% of the fans are on their phone during the whole game.
Best sporting event to go to live is hockey.
Hockey's up there.
I'm not saying I'm a major hockey fan. I've been to all of my games that I've actually watched the whole thing have been when I was at a stadium. And I mean, obviously we're from Boston, so mine's Bruins. Might not be yours, but Bruins are my team. I like them, you know. Oh, we got the Bruins hat on right now. So
I'm Boston everything.
This is only because we're from
homegrown.
Yeah, we're from New England, so that's obviously what we're gonna go for. But
and for those of you that hate us for being Patriots fans for the last 20 years, look what's going on right now.
You're welcome.
Like, we're paying our dues back. We're back to the bottom of the barrel.
We're actually recording our episode during their game because we're not even gonna watch it.
No one's watching.
Actually, I think if they win, they'll have more people mad at them than if they lose.
Oh, it's one of those games.
Yeah. So they got the seat right now for like
tie draft.
Yeah, they got like two drafts in the first round. If they lose this, they have the good seats. If they win it, they get dropped down or something. I don't know. My kid was telling me all about it. I feel bad for my kid. My kid's obsessed with the Pats, but I got to live their glory days, and now I get to watch him just miserable every week. It's like my dad. Like it skipped a generation. Like my dad grew up watching the Patriots that were awful.
Yeah.
Then I had my generation where they were unbelievable, and now it's off to my kids back to where my dad.
But even in your dad's generation, we made the Super Bowl twice. We just lost both times.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk about the Bears loss.
Right.
That was embarrassing.
Yep, that was embarrassing.
Drew Bledsoe did bring us there. I think we lost to Green Bay.
Green Bay was the loss, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough one. That was 96, I think.
Possibly.
96 and 98, yeah.
Green Bay was a stacked team, though.
Keep a track of the time. We never said it.
I got it.
Oh, you got it, okay. So, what else is going on, man? So now, we're rolling right into the new year.
2025. The first topic I was going to bring up is what everyone does on January 1st, 2025. And that would be if you believe in them or if you stick to them or if you don't. I don't know what your personal feelings are on resolutions.
Oh, resolutions, man. They're a curse.
They're a curse, he says. Well, they're self-inflicted then. Because, like, I mean, how are they a curse? I'm not telling you, Tommy, this should be yours. Yeah. Like, some people just don't believe in them. And, and some people do the, like, same old me.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Not changing for anybody. It's like, you're not supposed to be changing for anybody. It's supposed to be, like, something you reflected on last year.
And evolve with. Something you notice, something you want to see better, right?
We both brought up age, so things happen with age. You might want to change diet. You might want to, like everyone, I'll go to the gym more, which for me would be, if I go twice this year, it's probably more than when I went last year.
That's all right.
I was consistent. I was consistently not going to the gym in 2024.
Consistency is key.
It is. I used to be late to work by like 5 or 6 minutes every day and drive my old boss nuts.
Yeah.
And he used to say, it's 5 or 6. Like, why do I have to deal with this 5 or 6 minutes? And I go, hey, man, I'm consistent. I mean, I could probably make one quick move that changed that 5 minutes, but
we had a guy in our shop that would show up every single day, like you said, 5 minutes late, but we had a punch clock.
Oh, yeah.
So every single day he had to punch in late. He had to burn 15 minutes of his time. I'm like, why don't you just show up 14 minutes late?
It's the same amount of loss.
It's the same amount of time you're losing. Why do the 6 minute when you could do 14?
14, right.
I'm like, do you look better for doing only the 5.5, 6 minutes?
You don't. You actually give them 9 minutes.
Every single month we'd get our, we'd get our money in the bank for our time off, and every single month he would just drain it right down over the course of the month just on being late. I'm like, you can't just get up 5 minutes earlier, bro. 5 minutes.
He was consistent.
And then after the new year, or the boss would talk to people, we can't be late all the time. He'd show up on time for one full week. One full week he'd be on time, and then he'd be right back to 5 minutes late every single day. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're burning an hour every 4 days. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. That's one of those guys that said, there's no resolution. Nope. Same old me.
5 hours every month's allotted to him waking up 5 minutes later than he should have. Every single month.
The best is when you show up. This is like the managers must drive you crazy when you just show up 5 or 6 minutes late, but you got the Dunkins in your hand. So they know you either went into a Dunks or waited in the drive-thru. But like, leave that in your car if your boss is in the building.
Because now you're just bragging. Now you're just bragging that you're late for your coffee.
This is more important than the job that paid me to get this.
It's just crazy.
So
Crazy.
personally, do you have any resolutions? Or
Well, I was just gonna say, like a lot of people have like lose weight or save money or this and that, and like, but then I've heard some like really cool ones where people are like like I want to reinvest more time with my parents. I want to spend more time doing things with my kids. I want to start getting into arts and crafts with either a program or they want to try dancing,
learn
out
a
for
new
the
hobby
first
or
time,
something.
learn hobby, learn how to program on computers or whatever that kind of stuff is. They want to invest more into themselves over the course of the year, and it almost gives you a longer time frame of how long you need to get these accomplishments done if you almost put it into a broad spectrum of something you want to do for the whole year. Because like weight's a goal, right? It's an amount you want to get to. You're fighting to get to that amount. Money's a object of what you want to get to. It's an amount you want to do. Yep. These things are like, I want to be a better person, right? It goes back to our real talk. I want to do this. I want to try arts. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to make one extra phone call to my parents per week because, they say from 0 to 18 is the most amount of time you'll ever spend as a child under your parents' roof. After 18, 19 till death, your death or their death, you really only spend about 1 full year of time over the remaining length of time you're with your children, around your children.
Around them.
So think of that as a, think of that as like a story. Like the 18 years is a burger, right?
Yeah.
The rest of every time you're with that person is literally the slice of cheese in that burger is the amount of time you spend with them.
I love burgers.
Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah, no. It is. Well, if you know that,
right? It's
no, but
it's
if you know that,
I want you guys to know that because it's important to realize.
But you knowing that now, where you have 2 kids under 18, you got to look at the flip side. Like if I'm only spending a slice of cheese with my parent, my kids are going to get to that point with you.
Exactly. And as a parent, you want to see your kids grow. You want to see them go out into the world and become their own, right? Yeah. But you got to cherish those moments till you get to that point. Right.
So and as someone that has a 19 and a 25-year-old, I will say it does turn into like very limited time.
Slice of cheese.
But one lives in Times Square, one lives in Boston. We were up in New Hampshire, and you cherish the times, but it's like it's short. It's a short. Dinner. It's a dinner here. It's a meetup there.
Yep.
But you're proud of them. They're off on their own. They're doing their own thing. They're independent. But then on the other side, my parents are getting older, so like I should make an effort to be there more.
And this, obviously this is no shade. I'm just saying, no. Having those type of New Year's resolutions, I feel can be more conducive for you to actually entertain the idea of doing them, because there is no win or fail at it. It's really how much effort you put into it and how much you can look back on how much effort you put into it and was it worth it. Right. So I'll roll right into my resolution. My resolution this year is to visit
Tommy Wirez.
Tommy Wirez, New Year's resolution 2025 is to visit my mom and dad at their house at least once a week. And it could be after work. It could be a Sunday morning. It could be a Sunday night at 8 o'clock. I got nothing going on. I'm just playing on my phone. I'm doing nothing in my house. I'm in sweatpants and a sweatshirt. And I say, hey, what are you guys doing? Let's have a coffee. Let's have a tea. My mom's always got some sort of, cookie or something,
something to bring out.
Yeah. And then the reverse side of that is I want to spend at least an hour or two specifically with each one of my children on something they enjoy, like even if it's one of the gaming systems that they play,
Legos, models.
Exactly. So those are my 2 resolutions this year. I would also like to get to a goal. I'd like to drop at least 10, 15 pounds, but that's not on a priority list. The more priority list for me is the mental side. Yep. Is to mentally know that I'm putting a better effort into the quality time that I spend with the people that, love me the most, I guess,
Yeah, dude. Well, it's hard to do, like if you flipped it around.
That's my personal resolution.
Yeah, right. No, but the mental side that you're taking care of first, if you flipped it around and you put the weight thing at the top of the list and then like your kids and then your parents.
Right.
And if the weight thing isn't going well.
Right.
Because you don't have time or you're just, where you travel, you're eating conveniently, which is usually bad.
Which stinks,
Or you're eating late night, or you're eating out of airports. In your case.
Yeah.
Then it's hard for you to be happy or be like, this isn't being taken care of. How
XYZ.
XYZ. Right.
Yeah. So it's a domino effect.
Right. But if you're having a good relationship with your parents, you're having fun with your kids, doing the things they do, especially when you travel and you're away for a little bit.
Yep.
Then the weight thing, maybe it's easy because maybe the weight thing will be like, you know what, I am going on the road, but I got to see my parents. I got to spend time with the kids.
Yep.
And now when I go on the road, I'm going to grab the salad instead of a burger. I'm going to take my food instead of eating out of an airport at 11 o'clock at night.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
Wish you luck.
Yeah, man. All those. Yeah. What about you? What's your resolution for personal? We'll do career later. We'll do that later in the episode.
All right. Well,
before when it ends.
Personal is it's not really a career, but personal, I don't should probably get in the gym more, but I'm not gonna. So I'm only putting that on the list.
We're not gonna hold you to that, Sean. We will not hold you to that.
Real estate.
Okay.
I'm in the year where I can retire from my career.
Nice.
Which is probably gonna happen during this year, probably midway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have one that's finishing college.
Nice.
So getting her finished through that and getting her on her feet after. She's in the jewelry business.
That's
and then,
huge.
As you know, the wifey right now is out looking at 2 houses. So we're trying to get one house to call our forever home and another house to be an investment property.
Perfect. So those are three personal goals.
Those are 3 personal goals that I'm hoping to do within the next 90 to 180 days.
I like it.
3 to 6 months.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's good. You want to know some fun facts?
Stress is through the roof.
Yeah. I bet the stress is through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, you moved an entire house last week.
Moved an entire house. Half of it's in my basement. Half of it's
Sean, what's going on? I'm moving. I can't talk. See you later.
I'm on my second 15-foot.
That was the least I ever talked to you in a week.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this. Moving is not a fun week.
Terrible. Terrible. I'm never moving. One house, I'm done.
Yeah. So it's that was our 11th house. We're sitting in the basement of our 12th.
I say that now, but I think somewhere in the near future I may something.
Yeah.
I didn't want to uproot the kids.
No.
I personally think that, it really deteriorates a child's mental state sometimes when you move around so much when they're little, just for the aspect of continuity with friends, the continuity with, patterns and rhythms and getting into habits and this and that. I think it adds some stress to a lot of that. My personal feelings, obviously there's people in this world that are very much more successful than I am, that have moved their kids around 10,000 times and their kids are just as successful. Yeah. But I just, personally, that's kind of...
Well, you got to think of military kids.
The military kids, yeah.
Move all the time.
Yeah, they do.
People that are higher up on the ladder that are taking these CEO, CFO jobs, they're always chasing the next big thing, and I'm not knocking them for it.
No. That's why I prefaced that with more successful than me. Much more successful than me.
I did hear that.
I want to talk about the year calendar.
Okay.
Why is Wisdom's here?
Why is Wisdom? Wisdoms of Tommy Wirez.
Did you know our calendar is based off of the Roman calendar? When the Roman created the tracking systems of, months was created by the Romans. And it was a 30-day month.
Okay.
30 and 31. And there was only 10 months. It made 304 days total.
Okay.
It did not align with the lunar calendar. Okay. So at one point, there was a Roman king, Numa Pompilius, that decided that they were going to add 2 more months to the calendar, which was January and February.
Those were the last 2 months.
The last 2. So they added 2 more months to a 10-month calendar. Now, here's where it blows your mind.
So it went from 304 days to
165.
365. Okay. Yep.
Now, this is the part that blows your mind. How many legs does an octopus have?
8.
8. Oc.
Yeah.
October is month 10 in our calendar.
Right.
In the Roman days, the calendar was 10 months, and October was the 8th month.
Maybe the 8th month. Okay.
Right? So they had, so the Roman calendar, month 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, was Sextilius, September, October, November, and December. So October landed on 8 in those calendar days. Okay. Now that it's 12, now it's the 10th month of the count. 10th month.
So was March the first month?
So January, February, March. Yes, so March was the first month.
So March through December.
March, yep, okay. Exactly. So that is why we have a 12-month calendar now, because it aligns with the lunar calendar, besides for the one leap day
Every 4 years.
Every 4 years. Why is that? Because we circle the sun 365 and a quarter days every year. So on that 4th year, we'd be 1 day back if we didn't add those 4 quarters to a whole and make the one leap day.
February 29th.
Fun facts.
Right?
Yeah.
It's always February 29th.
February 29th. And if you're born on February 29th and you're on your 20th month, you're really only, 5 years old?
5 years old.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Still in kindergarten.
That's right. That's right. Anyways, fun fact.
Fun fact. October's month. So now if we go back to the goals for 2025, I would like to know Tommy Wirez goals. If there is any for comedy, if there is any for career, or if there's anything like personal besides what you just said with the family, the kids' time, and the gym stuff.
If we talk about my career-wise with comedy, I just
I meant career, but both.
Career. Okay,
Yeah.
career. I work with an older gentleman that's kind of handing over the reins to me, to be a little bit more proficient in some of the aspects of what we do, a little bit like that. I think. Yeah. Oh, dude, he's handing me over it's more like a tractor trailer truck. It's not a handful. It's a tractor trailer truck.
Back it up.
Yeah, I signed up for more than I could chew, but. That's all right.
All right. Don't say that. They're listening. He can handle it all.
I don't care if they listen. Yeah, they can listen. That's fine. They sold me. They sold me up a river that wasn't true. So I don't really care if they hear or not.
Jump on in, Tommy. There's no current. The water's fine. You jump in just a quarter mile downstream before you even know.
No, he's one of those guys that takes on more because he likes to wear a Superman cape. So it's like I don't have a Superman cape. Like my day ends at 3. He's sending emails out till 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
Reading emails as they're coming in.
You're at your kids' games. You're trying to get the kids ready for dinner and homework. Yeah.
7 o'clock, I'll look at them again. I'll check my emails at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
And, it's just one of those things where it's like I have a lot of other things going on in life. I have other passions. I have other interests. I have family time, this time, that time. And it's like.
I don't want to reroute from you answering your question, but just what you just said, I just want to jump in on. I had a very good conversation with a buddy of mine that chose to be an entrepreneur. And he's on like his 7th or 8th year of owning his own car dealership and very successful. And he put up a post the other day about people that want to like reap from your grind. Where me and you work for like big corporation, right? Mm-hmm. And we just talked about like the good and bad. Yep. Like January 1st, all my vacation time kicks back in.
Right.
He never gets vacation time.
Ever.
Right?
Every day he has to work 24/7.
Me and you can decide at 3:30, 4 o'clock, I got family stuff going on for the rest of the night. See you at 7 in the morning. He's worried about the dealership, a deal, and no knocking him, right? No. But these entrepreneurs that are out there that are your friends or that are people that's the sacrifice they make. That is something they choose to do, like he says, and the risk reward for them is so much better than us punching the clock.
Right.
But
we're always a number for someone.
We're always a number. If I retire tomorrow, which I'm eligible to, the company I work for doesn't miss one beat.
Right.
They'll refill my seat whenever they feel like it, if they even feel like it,
right.
So
the Romex Y is always going to be waiting for me tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So what I was trying to say is, for those of you that do punch your clock, there is good to it as well. Maybe you didn't take the risk to chase your dream. Maybe you didn't but if you're paid well and you're happy and you live a comfortable life, punching 9 to 5, there's no.
Well, the other reverse side of that is too, and I've always been a strong advocate. I own my own business. I also do electrical at a daytime job.
Right.
The daytime job has a 401k match. The daytime job has a lumped in insurance that's cheaper than that guy. The daytime job, not mine, but some, you get a pension. You get the reliability. You have the 5-day sick times. You have the 4 weeks off. You have this and that. So I'm not saying that. Don't knock, being the entrepreneur is, I love it. But some people can't take that risk because they don't have the security blankets in the event that something of that failed for them. So some people have to take that route, you know.
Right. But these people take that risk knowing their first 3 or 4 years is going to be
hard,
real hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can leave.
I give all the entrepreneurs out there credit. My cousin's one of them. I got a bunch of other family members.
Look at your cousin. Look how good he does.
My cousin went from.
But he went.
My cousin went from gluing floors on his knees to putting himself through school to getting his masterate to open his own flooring company. No one's ever gonna know who this is, but you know.
Yeah, I know. But
being in the 7-digit numbers.
Yeah.
For year over year, it's just.
But people got to look at what he did, or what he sacrificed prior to getting to that point.
Exactly.
Because if you 10 years ago decided you wanted to open your own electric company, you could be grinding still and miserable, or you could be Tommy Wirez that has 14 vans going out every day.
Yep.
Depending upon what trajectory and time and sacrifices you made.
10 job sites, all over $1 million.
But you would never be able to say at 5 o'clock, I'm done for the night.
Never.
Your phone, your computer, it would be all night, every day.
There'd be a phone call from one of my employees telling me that the van has a bad tire on it and what he wants to do
Sick,
with it.
can't make it in today, employed, I'm out of the house, the lady's complaining.
My drill broke. I'm in the middle of the job, I got canceled for the day, I got to go get a new drill. Okay. Go get a new drill.
Yeah, you wouldn't be okay. You'd be...
Go get a new drill. You didn't know your drill was getting that old? No. Okay, go get a new drill.
Yeah.
Go spend 4 hours of my day paying you to go get a new drill. Go for it. That's the stuff you have to sacrifice, though, you know?
Right.
I don't want to put my phone down at 3 o'clock and not pick it up till 7 a.m.
Right. So I sacrificed the real estate part, the flipping houses part, which I've done to complement
for now 9
to 5. Mm-hmm. And I don't regret not chasing something.
Yeah.
Of course, you have my dream was to always have my own car dealership and have this big, elaborate thing. But I got into it for a little while. I've seen my buddies into it. They make a lot more than I make on a yearly basis. But I don't want to do that trade. I don't trade off the time.
Yeah. No, you don't. It's apples to oranges. That works for them. That works for them.
Right.
But here's the good thing, though. You did work hard enough to get to a point where you could retire early, and now you could potentially do some of those small things that you want to do. You have that opportunity. You put yourself into the position to have that opportunity. So, everybody out there, work your ass off. Find what you love to do. Save your money. Put yourself into a position that you don't have to say yes or no about doing overtime. Make sure you put yourself into a position where you pay off your debt. This is a great year, 2025, for everybody out there. If you can, focus on your debt alleviation, because we have a lot of crazy things going on in the economics of this world. Yeah. There's a lot of crazy things going on in the politics of this world. All I'm saying is the stock market has been trending uphill since its conception. If you have extra money or you don't have extra money, try to put at least 5% of your money into your retirement. That 5% is going to compound every single year. So if the first $100,000 you save in your retirement, sounds like a crazy number, but it is a real number. Every year after that, from the conception of the stock market, it's been an 8% return on investment. So if you have $100,000 in that account, $8,000 of that is made without you putting $1 into it the first year after you have $100,000. And that's not every year, that's on average.
Right.
Put your money into those, because you will be old, you won't be able to use your hands and knees, you won't be able to put that effort in at that point. But as long as you have that money in those accounts, even though you can't touch them, when banks talk to you about loans on houses, on real estate, on flipping, on investing, they look into your retirement account, they see how much you have into it. That is a huge game changer for when you talk about borrowing money, because they know you have the money to bail yourself out someday if you had to in an emergency.
Right.
So focus on your future, guys. It's a big thing. Retirement's a big thing.
Never too young to start.
Being an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, put your money into a Roth IRA. You can put up to $8,000 now. Roth IRA is the money you pay. You put money into an account that appreciates till you're 65, but it's post-tax. So you've already paid taxes on it. So say you have your bottom dollar paycheck. Let's just say on average, say it's $1,000. Your $1,000 paycheck, now is post-tax. Take 100 from that post-tax, put it into that. When you're 65,
forget about it.
When you're 65, you don't get taxed on it then. So now you're making that 8% that you don't have to pay the government back. A lot of the companies you're in, you have to pay pre-tax, which saves you on your yearly taxes that you have to pay. But instead, you get the reward of it growing with larger numbers. So say it's $1,000 paycheck, but before taxes, it's $1,300. Now you're putting away, say 10%, it's $130. It's not taxed, but when you make the money later on, it's taxed. But that $130 now appreciates at that 8% a year.
Faster rate. Yeah.
It's a very, very crazy compounded interest on how it works, but it really does work.
It works.
And you'll have the financial freedom someday to do that. I'm only in my late 30s, early 40s, and I can tell you right now.
Which one?
Young,
you in the late 30s?
Late 30s, early 40s.
That's two different ages.
Start young, guys. Start young. It's very important.
I started at 22.
Factor your weekly paycheck with it gone. Don't even pretend it's there. Get rid of it out of the picture.
Yes, I'm the big component for no debt.
You know who was really good with money? Walt Disney.
Yeah. You know, who's really good with real estate. I don't even know how that guy projected to buy that much land.
Bro, he bought like half of Florida.
How?
It was a swamp. No one wanted it. No one knew you could do anything with it. He said, I can do something with it. The guy made a couple cartoons.
Yeah, but there's still swamps.
He made a couple of cartoons for another company, opened his own, Disney.
Yeah.
Then he built like a hotel of like the guys that drew like Wizard
the animations?
The animations.
Yeah.
And like they did all that like 3D animation with glass screens. So they would put the scene as it got closer. Like if you look into like this room right now, right? We got the TV.
All layered.
We got the cameras. We got the stuff on the back. Like all this. They made slides with each distance on the screen. So like when like Snow White was going across the screen, she was in the foreground, but the background was also going at slower speeds. So it looked like you're like when you're in a car and you see the background, the far back doesn't move as fast. Closer than that moves a little faster. Closer than that moves a little faster, right? When he conceived all that, he realized he could do those 3D animations when he was, what was that, in the 60s maybe?
No, it had to be 50s? Way before that. Black and white.
Was it black and white? Yeah. So like Mickey Mouse and all that shit.
Old.
Yeah. So that guy was rich enough. Here's a conspiracy theory. That guy was rich enough to freeze himself, cryogenically freeze himself. Now, the reason I bring this up.
Mickey Mouse was created in 1928.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That guy is rich.
He's been making money for almost a couple more years. It'll be 100 straight years, and they're not getting any smaller.
So he had a hotel of animators making these movies.
Yeah.
And then he was like, you know what? I want to make a theme park. Made the theme park. Engineered the theme park. Engineered everything from the sewer systems to the trash systems to the water to the routes that the employees take so they're not on the streets. So like when people are leaving their jobs in Disney, you don't see them walking down the streets with their Disney name tag and walking around.
No, it's all underground.
It's all underground.
Right.
The trash cans all have vacuums in them. There's no cleaning trash there. It all gets sucked down through a vacuum system. But the reason I bring this up,
I just want to bring up the land. Remember we were just talking about the land real quick? Disneyland in California is 550 acres.
Oh my God.
No, 550 in California. In Florida, Disney World is 27,258 acres.
My word.
It's 43 square miles.
I didn't know the real number. So it's bigger than a town.
43 square miles.
That's like that's like 20. That's like 20 towns in New England. It's 32 miles just down to Boston from me from New Hampshire. That's Boston to New Hampshire. New Hampshire to like Framingham to Worcester.
It's 25% the size of New York City. The whole complete New York City.
That's crazy.
It's 300. Yeah.
All right, so here's the conspiracy theory here, okay?
On Walt Disney?
Walt Disney.
Okay.
So he cryogenically froze himself, and there's been a lot of talk. Where is he? Where is he cryogenically frozen? What's all this? Everybody's always Googling, where is he? Where is he? So they'd always Google Disney, frozen,
True.
Walt Disney. So I was reading recently that the movie Frozen was made, written, and directed, and they called it Frozen for the simple fact that when you Google search Walt Disney Frozen, that movie pops up instead of him being Frozen. So the whole reason they made the movie Frozen was to deter people on their Google searches away from where is Walt Disney cryogenically frozen and steer them towards the movie they made.
Why, they don't want them? That the family don't want people to know?
They wanted to make money with the movie.
That's true.
They wanted to have people not talking about it anymore because it was becoming like a problem for the family. I thought that was awesome. What a genius move on the Disney family.
I actually I'm Googling who else. Walt Disney came up.
Yep.
Ted Williams.
Okay. That's right.
Couple of people. There's a lot of people that have done it that I don't even know of, but it says here that Simon Cowell signed up to be.
That makes sense. That guy loves himself. Why wouldn't he want to freeze himself?
I don't know. There's like 15, 20 people. I mean, I could go into who they are, but he's the only one that's alive that.
Yeah, why not? I want to be frozen in the ground during winter season.
Oh. I don't know, like, how do you have enough? You leave them a certain amount of money and
that's it.
You're just in a tank.
You
somewhere.
pay for it
Forever.
That's it. In a big nitrogen bath, frozen at like 0 degrees. Freezes all your atoms, all your molecules, all of everything.
Ted Williams played baseball in like the 60s. He has enough money to just pay for his
to be frozen.
I don't know. It brought back to life at 80. It's not like they died at 20.
Imagine you come back and it's like the year 2025 and you're 2500 and you wake up and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Put me back to sleep now.
Yeah, you wouldn't know anything.
You know nothing. It'd be weird. It'd be stupid.
Yeah, but he's still being like, well, how old was Walt Disney when he passed away?
They don't even know if it works. It's literally like a cash grab. It's like
oh, let's open some tanks, man.
Yeah, let's open some tanks, right? Let's crack them open. Let's regenerate these people. Well, Ted Williams did it because of his illness, right? Didn't he have Lou Gehrig's disease?
Oh, was maybe.
Or ALS? He had something.
Walt Disney looked like he was 90, but he died. He was 65.
Jeez. Partied a little too much with all that Disney money.
The guy looks 65.
That's how old I look.
Jeez.
What did he die from?
Oh, I don't know.
Walt Disney.
Let's go to the Wikipedia.
That's right. It's a whole new world.
Well, I'm sure they got the Googles that he wanted.
Because it's going to Frozen?
Yeah. It was a heavy smoker.
Conspiracy theory verified.
Smoked pipes and cigarettes without filters.
Oh, that'll do it.
Diagnosed with lung cancer.
That'll do it.
So, yeah.
I don't want to be frozen. Do you want to be frozen?
No. You should be frozen with those glasses on so when they bring you back.
Iceman. Be like what was his name? Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. What was it? Renaissance? Or no, Denzel. Oh, Spike Lee. Wasn't Spike Lee in Demolition Man? Wasn't he brought back from a cryogenic bath because he was a prisoner and they froze him for like 200 years or something? I think the movie was Demolition Man, but I forget who it was. It was either Spike Lee or it was who was the guy in Blade?
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, that's who it was.
And that's what it's about, being brought back?
Dude, movie's dope. And then they bring back, I think it's Arnold Schwarzenegger to collect them, to find him.
Movie's from 1993.
93, yeah, dude, it's an oldie.
Got decent ratings.
Who's in it? Is it Arnold Schwarzenegger in it?
Sylvester Stallone. Wesley Snipes.
That's it.
Benjamin Bratt, Dennis Leary, Sandra Bullock.
Great movie.
Sandra Bullock.
Great movie.
Yeah.
So he comes back in the future. And when he's in the future, like, they unfreeze the prisoner and he comes out and he like starts wreaking havoc. Like, he blows up the town. Like, he pulls this guy's eye out to get through the card reader because he used optical eyes. And then they unfreeze Stallone just to catch him because he caught him the last time. Oh. Yeah, it was a dope movie. That's and like the whole world is an apocalypse. right? The whole world's now in apocalypse, and the only restaurant and the only place you can get food in this apocalypse is Taco Bell.
Oh, how much did they pay for that plug?
Crazy.
Crazy. You know, like the guy that was making that movie is like, I'm going to go to 10 restaurants. You're going to be the only one in this movie. And they're all outbidding each other for that. And then Taco Bell wins.
But it was like fine dining, though. Like, it wasn't like Taco Bell restaurant. It was like these elaborate restaurants for Taco Bell.
Oh, all right. So they stepped it up.
Yeah, the cars like levitated and shit. It was a funny movie.
Oh, sweet.
It was a good movie.
Well, I cut you off, but we were going with Korea. And you saying how you...
Yeah, how did we get here?
We rerouted. I went from career to entrepreneurship to goals of 2025 with comedy.
Yeah. Comedy goal for me is to continue to put out content with the YouTube, to continue doing some funny reels, to grow some more followers. Subscribe, people. Get us on our YouTube. Subscribe us. If you see us on a reel, subscribe. You know, it's a small... It's a small thing we ask, but it really helps the algorithm. It really keeps boosting our reels for viewership. Oh, another thing with our viewership, what did I say last time? We're at 6,500 lifetime views on our page.
Well, during episode 7?
Yep.
We
are at 11,300 on our page
4,000
right
since last one?
Dude, we crushed it on reels this week.
Well, you're science. You're dropping science, as Ian Rice said.
Yeah.
Tommy Nye.
Oh, dude. Yeah, so that's my game plan. My game plan is to be on more shows.
He just shit it to you.
Be on more. Thank you, Ian. But Tommy Nye over here. I want to get on a couple more shows. I want to talk about my New Year's show because it was unbelievable. It was
Big
CPF.
event. Big event.
Oh, dude, I don't even. It fell on my lap. It literally fell on my lap the
CFP.
weekend before.
Isn't it?
CPF.
Oh, I always thought it was.
I thought it was too. It's Christopher Paul.
Oh, I thought it was Christopher Flayhead Productions.
I thought it was too, but then
whatever, Chris.
I doubled back and I verified because I was like, oh shit, I think we're saying it wrong.
All right, CPF Productions.
CPF Productions, killer show, DoubleTree in Danvers, Mass. 450 people, my biggest show yet. It was unbelievable to perform in front of that many people. It really made me realize how amazing theaters will be. Someday, you know, if this journey continues the way I hope it does, and the work I keep putting in for it, and that's my goal with the comedy side. How about you?
That's all we got to do. We got to keep grinding, so the phones keep calling. You know,
exactly.
That's like a natural build. It's a grind. As me and you text each other back and forth, we always say brick by brick, and that's kind of like our celebration of like. When something happens for one of us, we're like, hey, there's another brick, right, paving the road. And for me, it would be very blessed and thankful for the bookers that I'm already in with and that have booked me. And I'm pretty much busy all the way through April already.
It's awesome.
But in the next month, I get to perform for 2 bookers who have never used me before in Boston.
Nice.
So I'm excited. It's also like a test and an audition, but I had a great mentor that always says be ready. And whether you're called with a 1 hour notice, if you can show up, you better be ready, or whether they call and say, hey, I can use you in 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now,
be ready.
You got to be ready. And never say no. And the never say no thing, good problem to have, but I had to turn down 5 jobs in the last 7 or 8 days because I've already been booked. I mean,
I'm 4 shows till April.
I know, but dude, it's like, hey, are you available? I'm like, I open up, I'm like, yes, and then I'm like, yeah, I got booked.
Yeah.
But hey, good problem to have. I'm not. I commit to what I'm committed to, and that's the way it's worked for me moving forward. So, like for 2025, I would love to step my game up, and by stepping my game up, it's me putting pressure on myself to obviously add time.
Right.
And by adding time, those are the people that see me out there at some point. Bookers, promoters, and people that hire you will let you know.
Oh, yeah.
When you're going from A to B to C.
Oh, they are definitely the barometer for your scale.
So by no means do I call myself anything but an opener, because that's what I'm hired as, right? I'm a host and I'm an opener.
That's a humble position to take, though.
It's not like humble. I love it.
No. When I say humble, it's humble the fact that you still consider yourself an opener because you're waiting for the call or the date or the lineup where they call you something else because they have that faith in you. You're humbly saying, I'm an opener, which, you know, could be conceived in
I'm not humbly saying it. My messages that say,
no, I know.
Are you available on this date?
But what I'm saying is
this is the spot we have.
But you're humble in the aspect that you are taking what they tell you you are for the gospel of where you are. Because they've seen you. They've seen what you've done.
That's how it works, though.
That's what I mean.
Right.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I think that's how it works. I mean, if I want to label myself something else, I'm only fooling myself.
Yeah, just book your own show and make yourself your own headliner.
No. I do book my own show. And I don't even go on. I go on before the opener.
You're going as the host.
I'm the host.
Yeah, but that's the best place to be.
I don't know. Nah, well, I mean, it doesn't
No,
get me.
I'm saying on your
it doesn't
own
get
show.
me 20 or 30 minutes of time. It just gets me up every week, and I just do like a little icebreaker.
Yeah, but why would you want to? You don't want to be on your own shows, dude. You don't want to be on your own shows. That doesn't.
No, that's not why I have my room.
I mean, if you do, if you're on your own show, once you finally get to the headliner position and you do 1 or 2 shows a year where you drop your material, I mean, sure, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
But you're doing 52 other shows that year or more.
7 years from now.
But you know what I'm saying?
No.
I think everybody that starts on that mic stage hopes to be a headliner someday, right?
Yeah. My hope now is to, if I get hired or move up to feature spot, I want to literally get to a good feature spot, bust my butt with material so I have a ton of it.
Yep.
And then sit there for 3 to 5 years.
Gotcha. But
I have no rush to go from where I am to feature, and I already know now going to feature.
You don't want to rush that.
I'm not rushing from there to headliner. No. I'm cool with 3-4 years of
hustling and grinding, baby.
Yeah, to me, the feature spot is so good.
Hustling. Oh, it's such a great spot.
It's the sweet.
It is a great spot. I love the hosting spot right now. I'm learning so much. I'm meeting so many awesome headliners that I can actually watch and learn from.
Yep.
It's a fantastic place to be, and I'm just learning. I'm just learning.
That's all you can do. Right.
And I'm writing, and I'm actually. It's funny. I'm actually by watching the headliners, I'm actually adding to some of my my repertoire jokes that I know always work. And I watched this guy the other night. Like, he had the whole joke. He did his 3 boom, boom, boom funny things in a row. Boom, boom, boom. And then after those 3, dude, he just went 3 more, 3 more, 3 more on the same topic. And I'm just like, how do you have that many analogies or that many funny things to go on that same topic? But then that was the joke where you watch the room go from a laugh to a harder laugh to almost like in tears laugh. And then when he's done with that joke, you're just sitting there. You're just like, I suck at comedy. I know nothing about comedy, and I have no idea how that guy just did that. But I did learn something that night, that he took that one joke that I have a killer closer on, and he went, boom, 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 another killer closer. Boom, 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 another killer closer. And he just kind of manipulated the presentation of the situation in different facets. And I was just like, wow. And that got me to go back to some of my jokes and actually add 2 more killer closers on that same joke in the same timeline that extends the joke another minute.
Yep.
You know? Yeah. Everything in comedy comes down to minutes, guys out there. Anybody that's new to comedy, anybody that follows us that enjoys comedy or is learning comedy or trying to do comedy.
Jokes per minute.
We're here so that our failures, we can kind of help give you a little bit of what we've gone through so you can see that, how it works.
I'm not trying to give people advice. I'm too new for that.
No. I'm just saying through our failures or what we've learned. I'm not giving advice. I'm just saying what we've seen fail, how that changes, on whatever.
Find a mentor, man. It helps huge. Or find a group of 3 or 4 comics at the same level or around the same level and write jokes with them, bounce stuff off each other.
Yep.
It's huge. The thing what you just said is you have a joke that's a tree. And my mentor always said there's always room to have more branches on that tree.
Such a smart word.
Instead of writing a new joke, go back and look at that. What can you add to that? And you just think of like a sitcom. If a sitcom just kept changing subjects, you wouldn't follow it. But
True.
Every sitcom you watch that's funny.
Yep.
There's
branches.
those branches are literally callbacks 4 times in the same. You're waiting for like George to come in on Seinfeld because there's a callback to something he did at the
beginning of it.
Right. And then it all ties in. But if you look back, you're like, oh, the subject of it is this the whole way through.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. When I see the headliner last night for my show, destroyed for 40 minutes, and my buddy who's a comic walked, he's not a comic, he was a kid I used to go dancing with back in the day, walked over, he's like, dude, that guy just did 45 minutes of like laugh after laugh after laugh. I go, hey.
That's what he
didn't start yesterday. He started 25, 26 years ago. But that was my goal.
Awesome.
That's my comedy goal. Career goal, I don't really have one because I'm retiring.
Get to the gym.
And my personal goal is the real estate stuff. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get to the gym, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Well, no news, Mystaru. Did you hear in the news on the computer side of things? Did you hear about the new? So they've been working on this quantum computing for years, like a long time, 20 years. Google just released that they had a quantum computer chip that they created. It's got 122 qubits. Okay. A normal computer. All right. So
what does this have?
All right. Exactly. I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
What do you have? 256?
Yeah.
Gigabytes?
Yeah.
Okay. So 256 gigabytes. So back in the 50s, they invented the transistor. Transistor is basically an electronic switch that's either up or off. It's on or off, okay? It can be in one state or the other, on, off, right? So they made a computer chip that had 256 bits. It was a 256-bit computer. Now, how a computer works is you input information and it produces this for an answer. Those bits are all programmed in a certain order so that it gives you this answer when you ask this question, right?
Yep.
Your computer has 256 gigabytes. So you have, a million is a mega byte, okay? You have now 256 times a million. That's how you have gigabytes.
Okay.
Okay, and that used to be a transistor the size of, let's just say, a pencil eraser. Those first computers, the transistors were the size of the size of a pencil eraser. Inside your phone now, they're the size of, they're 3 atoms, they're 3 nanometers now. The smallest transistor is like 3 nanometers. You have like 256 trillion fucking bits in your phone right now. That's why your phone's so fast and can do so much. Okay, now
for $800.
For $800, $1,600, whatever the heck they are.
Right.
So a gig, and now they're going to the terabyte. A terabyte has whatever 10 million of those original bytes that were 256, whatever. Anyways, it's a long story short. Regular computers work on a plane. Okay, it's just a flat surface, and all those little bits are on it, right? And it's like a checkerboard. They're either red or they're black. Depending on what you put into it, they flip state. Quantum computing now takes the quantum level of this bit system and it makes it so that those bits can either be on, off, or in both states at the same time. Okay?
Okay.
Google just released that they did a question into their new quantum computer, which now these quantum computers are separate from our regular computer. You're never going to have a quantum computer on your desk.
Okay.
They have to run, the quantum bits have to run at a 0-degree temperature. The 0-degree temperature on these has to stay almost in like a building to keep them as cold as they need to be. But now imagine a checkerboard layered, almost like the game Connect 4, into a giant block. And you have these qubits now. The regular bits on the checkerboard would have to go through black, red, black, red, black, red, and come out on the other side as red if you asked for red. These qubits now can go across the board. They can go up through the board, because now consider it a layer of cake with all these layers of these qubits. It can navigate through this whole system and punch out on the other side this answer that would have taken a regular computer board. They answered a question in 5 minutes on this quantum computer that would have taken a conventional CPU computer board system 6 septillion years.
What?
That is longer than the known universe has been alive. It would have taken a normal computer to answer this question. It answered it. Now, the guy at Google.
I didn't even want to know what that question was, but okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's something that was, far-fetched that a normal computer couldn't do, but it still shows you how much computing power and speed these things have because they run on these. Basically, it's an atom that's frozen in time that can change depending on how it works. Whatever. I don't know the whole. I know just enough to be dangerous with this system.
Right.
But this leads me to my point. Google started off, the first one was called Foxtail. The second one they named was Bristlecone. The third one they named was Sycamore. The fourth one they called Willow. Okay, now just follow my brain on this situation. Foxtail, symbolically, stands for intelligence, shrewdness, deceit, and cunning. Bristlecone stands for improvement, eternity, and resilience. Now, this is the name they named these chips as it got to this Willow. This Willow is the best of the best right now. The next one's Sycamore, which symbolizes connection with the heaven, earth, and underground. The Willow is a tree that is an invasive species. It's not invasive on the surface, it's invasive underground. Okay, so follow this timeline now, right?
Yep.
They're basically saying as this thing evolves how it's deteriorating the systems we have growing. And they're naming them with these plants and these trees that are symbolic to these certain things that brings you down this dark hole that they're basically telling you that they're creating a computer that's going to undermine everything.
Okay. I was waiting for a callback.
The callback is that Tommy Nye is driven down a dark hole with these quantum chips.
Oh, you know what I thought the callback was going to be?
What?
Where'd you say that they only exist?
Oh, in freezing cold.
Yeah. Would you stop
it?
I was waiting for the thing to say it's right beside Walt Disney. Right beside him. How'd you miss that? I was waiting the whole time for that.
Walt Disney and what's his name?
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams are running this machine in the
guy's been gone
world.
for 40 years, but he's sitting right beside the, what'd you call it?
The sycamore, willow.
The willow. He's sitting right beside the willow.
Right next to the willow tree. just like Morgan Freeman in Shawshank Redemption. He's waiting under the tree right now. No, but the fact of the matter is the guy from Google says that this thing answered this question that they gave it in that short amount of time by accessing parallel universes. So because this thing can go into the quantum world, which they state that the quantum world is the fabric of our existence. So like you and me sitting here on these chairs, right? Mm-hmm. It feels like your butt cheeks is sitting on the seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Realistically, our body is created by atoms. All the atoms have a floating electrons around them,
right?
Okay? And they're glued together by whatever source, whatever metabolic compound holds them together. There's still a floating orb of electrons around them. This goes back to electricity, guys. Right. The reason why I know this kind of crap is because I'm an electrician. I fucking went down the black hole of all this stuff.
Yeah.
You're sitting on that seat. The seat has a floating electrons. Your body has floating electrons. You are never physically touching your seat right now. You're literally floating in this quantum gravity layer that exists there. They're saying that this computer, because it's using qubits, which are in a quantum state, these qubits are possibly going from different universes and in parallel timelines to answer these questions through the way that these quantum bits communicate.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing I like to fight against that is if you're saying I'm not sitting on the seat, then you tell me how fast COVID spread if none of us were touching the same things. And we sold 9 million gallons of hand sanitizer an hour.
Well, they made money on that.
Like, we weren't even touching each other. Yeah,
they made money on that.
So you talk about a headliner that does well and makes you feel like a bad comic.
Yep.
I just told you how my personal goal is to move from an opener to a feature sometime in the next 6 to 8 months, and you're telling me that this guy just designed like a computer that answered something in 5 minutes, like
5 minutes. that would have taken 6 septillion. That's a septillion.
So if there's a totem pole,
1 septillion is the number 1 with 16 zeros behind it.
I believe you because I don't even want to question it. What I will say though is if there's a totem pole of what people, that goes up from the ground to the sky of what people provide to society.
24 zeros.
And
it's a 1 with 24 zeros behind it, bro.
Right. So where's that guy?
Where is he?
On the totem pole of society of what he's helping humanity.
Accomplish.
And I'm telling jokes underneath at a bowling alley.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, those people that are listening to your jokes that are getting through their day, that are having a better day, what's that guy accomplishing for their world where you're giving them hope through one more night of laughter, one more night of a celebration.
Forgetting about their bills, whatever it is.
Forgetting about their bills.
Come out, laugh, have a good time, have some drinks, eat some food, be with some friends.
No, and I joke about these, my black hole of conspiracy, but they really, they want these things to help with the medical field. They want these things to help with transmitting. When you travel in the future and you go through rocket ships and you go out into the universe, this and that, transferring data is difficult. So you have to wait on time because it travels at the length of a photon. If they even use laser systems to transmit communication, it still uses time. It takes 8 minutes for the sun to reach the Earth. So the sunlight you see right now started 8 minutes ago before you see it.
Okay.
Right? So some of these things are going to help us in the travel aspect of intergalactic kind of travel with spaceships and all those kind of things. So I think it puts hope in people's minds that we're thinking about the future. We're thinking about the travel aspects. We're thinking about, even this Tesla stuff and the thing that's, he's building these robots and this and that. I mean, when he talks about the robots that he's building, the actual sense, the two-podded human being looking robots, his goal is so that you don't have to go and dig the sewers this week. You can literally, the world will be laborless, and we'll be able to just focus on the things that, evolve civilization. So these small little steps in our lifetime, I mean, in the years you and me have been on this earth, the compounded education through computing, through all that kind of stuff is revolutionary. I mean, if they look back on this in the 2100s, this window of time of you and me writing hand notes in class to our friends as jokes, to us making memes and posting them on Facebook for thousands and thousands of people to see.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
I remember my history teacher saying he was alive when the first color TV came out.
My dad.
Imagine now what we have.
My dad tells me that story. That's why I'm so proud of him of getting a cell phone recently. You know what I mean? Because he remembers. He even says this fact. He goes, cable TV used to be free. I'm like, how was it free? He goes, it was free because they'd give you cable, and the cable you watched would have the commercials. And the commercials were enough to pay for the cable system to be brought to your house.
All the houses had antennas.
The houses had antennas. But cable was technically free at one point.
Now we have a guy making quantum chips, and we're over here using our phone to order pizzas.
That's right. Ordering DoorDash. Yeah, exactly.
Because we don't even want to drive to the restaurant.
That's right.
We don't even want to drive to the restaurant. We're getting close to an hour, but I wanted to end on this because we've had many people reach out to us on this and talk about they like how we get into mental health, and I don't want to end it on a bad mental health note, but I do want to touch on it. And I might be able to combine two things. We'll see if this works. If I use the bowl of misfortunes here, and I'll pull one for you and you pull one for me, and then we try to use what we're going to pull out to reflect on your personal mental health and my personal mental health, on either something good or bad that might have happened last year that you learned from, good or bad, and you might change or you have changed. It doesn't have to be like a January 1st thing that you changed, but you you know what, I noticed this from me, and I'm going to change it by doing this, more or less, whatever. And we'll see if this can translate into a mental health thing for both of us. And I'll read one for you, and you can read one for me.
Okay.
Let's see if this makes sense, guys. We've never done this before.
Let's do it.
This isn't a...
Follow and subscribe, guys. Subscribe, please. We need the subscriptions on here. We got 42 right now. We didn't go on an uptick on that, so we want to get a couple more subscriptions, guys.
All right, I don't know if this is going to translate to mental health. You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Tommy Wirez, bowl of misfortune. Your help will be needed in an embarrassing situation.
Doing it right now. This is embarrassing enough.
I don't know that's going to help, but let's just, all right, so maybe.
Actually, before you said that, I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, and that actually does align with my thought process, because I want to talk about the fact that people out there, take this, with a grain of salt, but what I've learned in this past year is that when I reflect or I act on something that affects me emotionally, and I don't know I'm doing it emotionally, and I'm going to use this as an example. Say you have something that happens at work, or say you have something that happens between someone you care about, and it bothers you, and you want to get your point across to them, and you want to tell them immediately how you feel and how things are going on. Pause. Take a moment and pause. And in two ways I'm going to explain that is, if you have an email at work and you want to send something back and you want it to be very, directive, and you want to get your point across and this and that, type that email, but hit draft. Don't put the person you send it to, and read it the next morning and see how you feel before you send it out. Because there's going to be something in that you are not happy with what you said.
Sending it out with emotions?
You are writing with an emotion. So learn to not write or talk or communicate when you're emotional. Number one, if you have friends and you have loved ones in the same situation, sometimes silence is a better indicator of how you feel than it is to come back with hate. So all I'm saying is just pause your emotions, collect yourself before you move forward. Good. That's
not bad advice. Same thing with sending a text or something.
I've done that.
Right. Can I change this, though, to get an answer from you? So it says, your help will be needed in an embarrassing situation. Now, this is what I'm going to ask you, because I know what kind of person you are, and I'm the same in this way. I want to change this to get a mental health answer from you. Your help will be needed. I'm not going to end it. Your help will be needed. Is there anything you learned over the past year where you've used your help for people, and it's either helped you mentally or hurt you mentally, and you're going to change or keep it going moving forward? In this past year, there has been choices that I've made to help people, and I know you do.
It was one of the it was one of my proudest moments for the year. Using my past and what I've lived through to convey to them that they're going to be okay, and I when I was telling that person my personal story, I told them a few times how I'm embarrassed, and I haven't told many people this. And because of that reason, I think that person may have got the right help that they needed just by me sharing what I've gone through, and that they were going to be okay. So yes.
Don't stop.
I won't change that, and I never will change that. And I'm blessed to have so many people around me that have given me help. And, as time has gone on, you have to cherish those people, because I'm losing some of them right now. I'm losing some of my best friends to battles with cancer and battles with certain things. So make sure you tell those people you love them. Don't be afraid to tell a man or a friend that's a guy that you love them. Be that person that they know they can always come to you for and with information. And that goes for you, that goes for Jay, that goes for a lot of the people in the comedy world. I'm blessed with the comedy circle that we've grown and the people I've met.
And there's sometimes you reach out for help, and you have to kind of do it and not be bitter about, like, is it being rewarded or is it being accepted the way you think it's going to be accepted? Because the amount of time you might have put into it, or the amount of energy or money or whatever you've done to help someone, and if you think that it's gonna come back, sometimes it doesn't,
right?
Or they don't know how to show, or especially man to man, some guys are just like, hey, thanks, and you're like, well, that's weird. I put so much
energy into it,
emotion into it, and kind of was like, you think in your head you might have been getting blown off,
right? Because
it's all secret, because you're not sharing people that and I'm not either. Like, you're just like, you can't even share it to be like, hey, I helped. It was weird the way I got a response, because you're just like, you're doing it, you're not doing it for that.
For no reason.
But it is energy, it is time, and it is.
Keep doing it.
It is. I have to keep doing it, because that's just me.
Yep.
And I want people to know that whatever they come to me with on a mental health issue, or
you have to respect
in a bad times, I want to be open enough for that. It is sometimes depressing, and sometimes it's draining on both ends, because when someone comes to you that's close enough to you or friendly enough with you to release this bad situation, right? And if you care about that person, you feel bad about the situation. So you're invested in it emotionally, and you want to give them guidance or an experience that you went through. And sometimes you leave that conversation because there's people that only want to be listened to. They don't want feedback.
Well, that's it.
There's
you
people
don't know how they're going to act with the information
how.
you give them, and you have to accept. Whatever.
Every person's different.
Exactly. They can handle things differently. So even though you're going into it selfless and you're doing it for no other reason except for you trying to help, sometimes they won't give you the feedback if it helped or not.
Right. Me, you, and Jay, we talk to each other. Me to you, you to Jay, me to Jay. And sometimes it's just like, hey, man, this thing happened today. How do you... I've done it to you a couple of times, and you're like, I don't see it like that. And I'm like, all right, let me step back. Let me see how you see it. This is how it went down. And even if you don't know who it is, you're like, you see it.
XYZ.
Yeah. And then I might go to Jay with this, and I'm like, okay, Tommy and Jay almost saw it.
The
same way.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong? Like, why did I take it?
Yeah.
You know, and so like, but we're not going to stop. That's what we do. We, part of this and the real, as we say all the time, the REAL is a mental health thing for us and is a mental health thing for men. And for those that watch, that keep in for that, and some of them do, and they always tell us to touch on that subject. So it will always be a part. Might not be the ending every week, but it'll always be a part.
We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. We appreciate that, obviously. And that's why it's part of this.
Keep helping people moving forward, bro.
The conception of this whole entire show was about the real part and then about the funny part. You know, we all sit back and play with our reels every night, and we laugh to them. And that was kind of just what we rolled this all into and how it conceived.
Yeah.
So,
but now we're taking that reel.
Yep.
And we're making it into our reels.
Yes, sir.
And then we're hoping you go to YouTube to watch the whole 1 hour.
All right, Sean's turn here. All right, ready? Go. You ready for this one?
I don't know if I'm
ready.
This
one's powerful. You ready?
Let's go.
Your future is as boundless as the lofty heaven. Let me start over. Your future is as boundless as the lofty heaven. How do you take that one?
Lofty heaven.
How do you take that one, Ted Williams?
Future being boundless means you're in control of some of it.
Yep.
Right? Not all of it, obviously.
All of it.
We're never in control of everything. I'm in a crossroads with retirement. I'm in a crossroads where we just sold the property. So like the future is, it's stressful because we're at, empty nesters, kids are out of the house, and whatever we use our investments in retirement for affect whatever happens going down the road. The lofty heavens, I don't know. I'm born again Christian, so like I don't push that on anybody. I don't really bring it up much, but like I do believe in certain things that you pray for, certain things that you ask for, and I never use mine for monetary value. I never use mine for mostly never for myself, except for like just show me what I'm supposed to do. A lot of my prayers and stuff are for people that are sick, family members that need it. And one thing that has always been blessed with is timing. And I feel like when I get to a certain point where I don't know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen, something at that time happens to say you should take a left here instead of a right. Because you know what I mean?
Crossing paths with your destined path. That is you manifesting the destiny of your given path.
Right.
And, if you put your hands up and you sat back and you did nothing that day, it wouldn't happen. But you always are pushing forward. You're always moving to the next thing. You're not ever turning around and saying, oh, man, this was awful. What's going to go on? You're always looking forward. You're always looking for what's next. How can I make this better? How can I learn as a better person? How can I be a better man? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better dad? Like, those things in time are going to be timed with your efforts, right? You can't just pray to the universe and pray for money or pray for wealth,
promotion,
or pray for health, or pray for. You're going to be given the strengths and the challenges to build your own armor to be able to conquer those problems, right? So God will never, or the universe will never give you what you ask for. God is going to give you the challenges to see through those problems so that you conquer them on your own. and you see that you conquered them on your own. That's the lofty heaven.
Right, but you earn a spot, and then the timing comes, whether it's a career thing, like for you.
Yeah.
A career thing came where you had to choose to leave this.
Crazy timing.
But there's more money. But then there's also travel. But then, so like the opportunities like here, you didn't have to take it.
Didn't have to take it.
But then when you also took it, it wasn't like 100% great.
Right. It was.
Because there's a sacrifice of being away from the, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like, just because it's there, you wasn't like, oh, I worked hard. This great opportunity came to me. It's like.
It happened, but then I had to work at it.
Right.
And then you make it into what's your happiness. And you do that. And speaking of making it into your happiness, we're happy that you're here. We're happy if you got this far. If you didn't get this far, whatever. I'm sure you'll see it in a reel somewhere anyways.
Yes.
But we appreciate everybody. Episode 8, guys. We're shooting to try to get at least one every couple weeks or every other week or every week. This next year coming up, I'm hoping to close out the year in episode 50. I really am. If we are, that's another comedy goal for mine. But outside of that, that's going to be the end of it, guys.
I just want to say one thing before the end. So we're on Reel or No Reelz. Anywhere you Google us, you can find us, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, and you want to reach out to either have us talk about a subject or thank us or rate us or insult us, we don't care. If you want to message us anyway, and if you want to put in the message like a thank you or whatever, or a topic for us to talk about, you can also write in there you want to be anonymous, and we will never bring up your name, but we would appreciate the feedback, the follows, the likes, comments in any of the reels. Tommy does the editing, so once he gets those out, there'll be 1-minute clips, 30 to 1-minute clips, and they'll always say, what episode it is if you want to get back to YouTube and watch us in full. And then you can listen to us in full through Spotify.
So it's on Libsyn, and Libsyn puts us out on Spotify, puts us out on iHeartRadio, puts us out on Audible, on Amazon. It puts us out on all kinds of platforms. We're not on iTunes because I don't know how to do the paperwork on that. They want some sort of they want a company tax ID. They want all kinds of stuff.
Spotify anyway.
Yeah, I wish we were on iTunes. Maybe we will someday, but for right now, it's all on Spotify. So I'm trying to figure out how to get our video on Spotify because that's also an option that we can have. I don't know how to do that yet, but regardless of all that, Sean, you're the man.
Find us on YouTube. Find us on Instagram. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Subscribe.
Just have fun, man. That's what we're doing.
Thank you, everybody. That's what this is about, just to talk about some relevant topics.
It's only water, but cheers to 2025. Stay healthy out there. Listen to people. Reach out for help if you need it. Come by anytime. We have our mics on Monday nights, and you know how to get a hold of us.
That's it.
Tommy Wirez with a Z on Google, Mystaru on Google, Reel or No Reelz on Google. If you can't find us on Google, you ain't looking.
That's right. And we're out of here, boys and girls.
I'm hungry.
Teddy. I said a hip, hop, hip it to the hip, hop. Don't stop.